Hello, everyone. How are you? I came skidding in. Sorry, I was on another Zoom and happy to be with you guys tonight. I'm very, very excited. We're going to have a little special guest with Teresa and John Getz. And Teresa's going to talk a little bit about how to share your story so that you're concise and precise and that you don't lose people when you're sharing the story of LifeWave. Because sometimes, how many of you know if you're talking and talking and talking, you can talk people in and out of the patch in one conversation, right? So it has to become, your story needs to become short and concise and precise. And there's just no better person to teach this than Teresa Getz. And so I asked her to hop on tonight. These guys are nearly SPD. Well, they're elite in some ways, but they're trying to win all the trips. And they literally, their volume is like hand over fist growing. In fact, the meeting that we just were on was with a huge team of theirs. They are literally incredible, incredible servant leaders. We just love and appreciate them and their wisdom that they bring to the table. So I've got lots of good stuff to give you tonight, but we're going to actually start with Teresa because I know she's front and center. And if you have not text right now, just take 30 seconds. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Take your phone and I want you to copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste 5 people on your team to get on this, because here's the deal. If you don't tell them, they don't know this is going on. How many of you realize that? If you're not sending it out right before, people have no awareness that this is going on. And so if you're going to lead is my advice. Okay. If you're going to lead, the question is, do you want to make money? Raise your hand if you want to make money, because this is billionaire mindset. Then you need to be able to lead. And it's a series of duplication where we're not telling you to go reinvent the wheel, right? We've got a proven system that's creating millionaires. So we know that with This Is It Info and This Is It team, but we want to be short and concise with the delivery of our story. And then I've got 2 great things to share with you tonight. Okay, John and Teresa. This is Teresa Getz, you guys. These guys live down in Frisco, Texas. Add pin. Let me replace pin. You are pinned, baby. And so first, a little background. These guys have been in network marketing for 14 years, 15 years?
Since 1996.
Oh, come on. You don't look that old. Come on.
Renita, you weren't even born yet.
No, you're funny. You're funny, John. So they've been at it a while, blessing and serving others, their team. And again, we're just so honored to have them on our team. Great leadership, raising up leader after leader. And these two bring so much wisdom to the table that we've got to share it. It's too good not to share, right? So Teresa, I'm going to let you take it away and you just educate people a little bit about how to lay out that story. Because again, when we're telling people, remember this saying, facts tell, stories sell. Okay. You should all have that memorized. Facts tell, stories sell. Here's the thing. I don't know anyone, I'll just say it, anyone that's super duper, 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 duper analytical making a lot of money here. They just don't. The over analysis leads to paralysis with the people that are over analytical. I mean, we want the details. You want to be certain about what you're saying, right? You want to have that knowledge base so you can have the belief. But if all you're focusing on is fine details all the time, the average person's lives, that's going to be overwhelming for the average person. I'm just going to tell you the truth. They have kids, jobs, extracurriculars, grandkids. They've got a lot going on. So if you make it too cumbersome, it's not going to work out. So again, facts tell, stories sell. Teresa Getz, tell us how to tell a story.
Hey, we're so excited, Renita, John and I. We just adore you and Scott. You guys are incredible leaders. We are so honored to be, on your team, sponsored by you and Scott. You're just leading the charge and you love all of these people and I want to help all of them find success, win big, change lives. And that's what our story does. And so you guys, something we learned a long time ago, John and I learned this in the industry years and years and years ago, that Renita just said it, stories sell, facts only tell. And so you've really got to master that story and hone in on that story. So a lot of people, they start to tell their story, right? And there's all this fluff in there. And by the time they're done telling their story, nobody even remembers what happened to them. And I'm telling you, but we've been in this industry very successful since 1996. And I've watched person after person after person. They're going to talk 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes about their story. and all these details that don't matter. Here's what I want you to write down. This is so important. When you're out talking to people about LifeWave, they want to hear your testimony. They want to hear your story. And the first thing they're going to always want to know is where you were. So where you were is like, what's your background? Who are you? John and I are, a married couple with 5 kids and 17 grandkids, and we came from the furniture retail industry. That's it. And we were a family that was looking for a better way. That's where we were. We were not wanting to live paycheck to paycheck. We had no time freedom. So where were you? You know why that's important? Because people need to be able to relate with you. They're just like me. They were working 50, 60 hours a week. They had no time freedom. Maybe they were living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe they made a bunch of money. Tell your story, where you were. And you guys, you should be able to tell your story always within 3 minutes, but have an elevator speech ready, which is 30 seconds to a minute. Number 2, what you saw. When somebody shared LifeWave with you, what did you see? Did you see hope? Did you see better health? Did you see better finances? Did you see a breakthrough in regenerative medicine? What was it that you saw? Because guess what? They're going to be seeing exactly what you're saying to them. So where you were and what you saw. John, do you have anything you want to add?
Nope, you're doing good. It's exactly what I told you today.
That's right, baby. And then where you are now. Now, you don't want, you guys, when you saw what you saw, you don't want to go through, oh my God, I had 25 diseases and I was taking metformin and this, and I was insulin dependent and I was blah, blah. They don't care about that. Remember, people want to know that you care about them. Yeah. So you want to keep your elevator speech and your story short because you want them to open up and talk to you. And so where are you now? Are you down weight? Are you off of medication? Do you have more energy? Are you sleeping better? My torn rotator cuff, I no longer have any issues with my arm. And don't be afraid when you're inviting somebody and talking to somebody and sharing that story. Maybe you have a great income testimony. And you guys, sometimes I think that people that just get started in this industry think that, oh, you can't tell your story unless you've made millions. No, the truth is the average person can't relate to millions. They can't even dream that or think that. So maybe you've made $500 or $1,000, or maybe you're making a couple thousand a week. Wherever you are, don't be afraid to share that because the average person's gonna be able to relate with that. Do you know that $500 a month would save the average divorce from happening? $500 a month. So don't be afraid to share your story, where you're at, that you're making some money, you're getting a paycheck, maybe your patches are getting paid for. And you guys, one of the most crucial things that you can ever do, and I've watched so many people in the years that we've been in this industry leave this out. Where are you going? Because nobody will follow you if you can't tell them where you're going. So where are you going? Are you going to director? Are you going to executive director? Are you going to senior director? Are you going to the top? Are you going to be debt-free? Tell them where you're going. So have you ever thought about this? What if one of your friends calls you up and says, hey, I'm coming over to get you? What's your first question? Where are we going? Right? So if you don't tell people where you're going, I can promise you they're not going to follow you. So you have to paint the vision, because people want to follow winners. People want to follow people that have a concise plan and know where they're headed. They can jump on that boat with you then.
Yeah, so, and Teresa, that's just the best example you gave. If someone calls and says, get ready, right?
I'm coming to get you.
I think some people are afraid to set a concrete direction. That I really feel like because they don't voice that where they're going, people don't want to follow them. I mean, where am I following you to, right? So you have to get so concrete. Like I posted this thing the other day and I've been really thinking about it. It says that interested people watch obsessed people make things happen, right? Yeah. And I think that's so, and it's true. And it's, I mean, I walk around saying, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I say that, and most people may not like that. That's okay. You don't have to like it. I'm just telling you, I'm obsessed, and we are going to help so many people make millions of dollars and save millions of lives with these patches. That's what we're doing with this thing. right? We're going to create 100 millionaires, Scott and I, on our team.
Amen.
Like, that's exactly what we're doing. You know, I had a vision for John and Teresa. I just simply shared my vision I had for her and her team. And she said, I accept it.
I receive it.
I receive it. She was pulling it down from heaven. But the point is, I think that that is so important. Let's just revisit these again. Where were you? What did you see? What you saw? Where are you now? And where are you going?
That's right. And don't be afraid. Renita, a lot of times I think people are afraid because we have such this miracle patch, right? I actually, when I do my Zooms, I hold it up and I said, this is a miracle patch. I've got it on right here, right now. Don't be afraid to talk money. You guys, if you think people are not at home right now on their knees praying and trying to figure out how they're going to make ends meet and get things paid for, I hate to disappoint you, but a lot of people are struggling and looking for another way to make money. So don't be afraid to tell your financial story. People are looking, people are hungry. People would rather want to know what it's in for them rather than how much it's going to cost them. So if you just talk product, the first thing they're thinking is, how much is this going to cost me? What about if we showed them how much they can make? So Renita, that's what I wanted to share. It works. Keep your story short, you guys. Take all the fluff out and be bold, because we do have a miracle patch and people are on their knees praying for an answer. And when you know that you know that you know, and you get that belief inside of you, you will all be unstoppable. Every single one of you. Well, you're already unstoppable. You're on this Zoom tonight. And you can change so many lives.
And I was just going to add, Renita, I know everybody, we speak for everybody here. We just love you and Scott leading the way and setting the pace for each and every one of us. We're all chasing you. We're going to catch you one day.
Let's go, baby. I tell that to Steve Merritt. I'm like a chihuahua on your heels, Steve. Come on. You better run faster.
Run faster.
I love it. I have a highly competitive, fun spirit. I keep it really light and fun, but I definitely am a goal setter, go getter. And what I realized about the storytelling, sometimes people get caught up with their story in the darkness, and they need to talk more about the light. You know, imagine like a beginning to an end and a middle of your story. Are you spending more time in the dark part, like Teresa said, talking about your 32 ailments, disease names, and drugs? Or are you moving to the light? Because here's the thing, we have to ask ourselves, how do I want to be remembered? Oh, that's the person who talked about the diseases all the time. No. I don't want to be remembered like that. I want to be remembered as a person who broke out of that, who changed my story, who got set free by the blood of Jesus and using this patch. Remember, don't just pray, by the way. People say, pray, pray, pray. I know sick and broke Christians. The churches are full of them. And here's what I'm going to tell you. You don't have to be one of them, because you need prayer with strategy. And that's exactly what we have with this patch. But Teresa, I think it's really important for people to hear 3 minutes, because sometimes people, when they get into the storytelling of the sickness, they kind of, unfortunately, go back for a second like that, because that neural pattern is still there in their brain. So they kind of go back to that. And so what do you think that they can do to snap themselves out of that, to pull them into the light faster, to get to the good stuff? What is your suggestion for that?
They've got to realize that their story is so important and so impactful that they have to break that old pattern and keep it simple. Guys, I heard somebody on my team the other day telling a story, and it was like, whoa, it was so long you could see that the people were being lost. You have to keep it short. Nobody will remember any of those details. And if you'll just remember that your fingerprint, you've got a divine fingerprint, that story and that fingerprint that you're trying to leave in somebody's life is so important that you master that it's going to impact their life, or you're going to lose them. And you don't want to lose them. You just want to keep that story short.
Okay, so I want you now. Teresa's going to give us her story, 3 minutes or less, like the long version, which would be considered the long. Now, for some of you, you're thinking 3 minutes. And if you're talking for 30 minutes, that's exactly why you're on this Zoom tonight, baby, because when you're talking for 30 minutes, you're talking people in and out of that patch 17 times. So Teresa's going to give you her 3-minute version, and then she's going to give you her 30-second elevator pitch, like when I'm getting on floor 0 and I'm going up to the state capitol on floor 18. and someone's asking me about this, what am I going to say on those floors? And you might want to take yourself to a large building with 18 floors and practice this. I might do that. I'll record myself doing it while I'm on the elevator, just because it's something fun to do.
You're
All right.
funny.
I know. Go ahead, Teresa.
I don't think I have a 3-minute story because I pretty much mastered it to keep it condensed because people are busy, right?
Right.
And so it's better that you keep it condensed. So like if I was talking to one of you and we just met and I'm trying to tell you my elevator story, you know, the first thing I'm always going to say is, hey, I'm so excited that we ran into each other and I get to meet you. What do you know about stem cells? I found something that has totally changed mine and my husband's life. You know, it wasn't very long ago. I was dealing with a torn rotator cuff and several other health issues. And I was introduced to this amazing breakthrough technology in the field of regenerative medicine. Well, let me tell you, it wasn't very long and my sleep pattern changed, my energy levels went up, and within a few short months, I have full movement in my arm and I didn't have to have rotator cuff surgery. Now, I will let you know that there is a huge business opportunity involved with this. It may be for you and it may be not, but we were able to begin to earn thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a week very, very quickly, take the financial heat off of our family, and literally began to change lives and help many people do the same thing.
Wow.
And I usually will add, my husband just said, hey, where are you going? And we're taking this to the top and going to change millions of lives across the company. Come with us. We can help you do the same.
Yeah. Okay, now, John, you're up. Can you say yours? And don't just say what Teresa said, because I know that's your MO.
Well, when I see somebody, I'm pretty short and I stumble over words. So if I can get somebody, in fact, the other day I did that and I went and got some ears looked into. And so as I'm talking to him, he said, what's that patch on your, because we wear them right here lots of times. And he said, what is that? I said, oh, I'm glad you asked. I said, I told him my thyroid issue. I was taking thyroid issue medicine for 25 years. By wearing this patch daily, 12 hours a day and taking it off at night, I no longer need my thyroid medicine. And it totally changed my life. It hasn't given me hair yet, but it's given me my thyroid back.
And Charlie, it's giving you Charlie back.
And so I shared that.
Renita, I don't let him tell that to everybody.
What? No, I can't. What did she say?
Charlie back.
I said, it didn't give you your hair, but it did give you Charlie back.
Oh, yes, it did. Charlie is back. It is good for Charlie.
And I gotta say one more thing. So when people ask you what this patch is, I've got a great line. You look at them and you say, you don't know about this? Are you serious? You haven't heard about this? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me talk to you. This is crazy. And they like lean in, and I've had somebody say the other day, well, no, I think I need to hear about it though. So then they're all ears.
Right. You almost like, I think sometimes by leaning in and whispering a little bit, like I always feel like they lean in and whisper a little bit, like they're like, we're onto something big and you don't know, but it's kind of a secret.
Right.
Like, don't you know the secret? You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that.
And watch your words. Speak life into people.
Right.
We always tell them, you guys, this is going to change your life. I'm already telling them it's going to change their life. This can change and leave a financial legacy for your family. Call those things that be not as though they are and speak it into their life. Renita said I hypnotize people. I think I do. I've done it my whole life. And not hypnotized by a bad way. Just speaking out. Sorry, I'm choking. Just speaking out positive and let them know what they're going to expect. We already know this is going to change their life. We know that. So why not tell them that?
Well, and why would you say anything else? Let's just say that for a second, Teresa. Well, you know, you're pretty sick and you got all those diseases and all those drugs. I don't know. I mean, can you imagine if someone talked like that? I'd be like, I don't want to do this with you. Right? I want someone speaking life over me, speaking in the world of Christian.
Yes.
What we call that prophesying over people's lives, right?
Calling those things
hypnotism,
they are
prophesying. Yeah.
I don't ever tell somebody, they say, do you think it will work with me? Absolutely. It works for everybody.
Let's practice the word absolutely.
Do you have stem cells? Yeah. Yes.
I never use gray words when people say, like the gray words that people use. Listen, again, interested people watch, obsessed people change the world. I'm just going to say it over and over. And I guarantee if you start talking with a little more zeal, a little more zest, a little more certainty, and a little more love, and like imagine like you are hypnotizing them. What do you want to say? Do I want to say, you're well, you're healed in the name of Jesus, you're already better. Let's put this patch on and so you can move in that regenerative way, right? Imagine that what you're speaking is speaking life over them. You literally are speaking, what you want to happen. You're going to love this. Your family's going to love this. You're going to want the premium pack. Why? Because I thought you said you want to help your husband. You can't leave him behind. How's Charlie? Right? In that bedroom, right? So thanks, John. John, I'm never going to let this go, by the way. Maybe you should just share the story about Charlie to let everybody in on the side talk here.
Well, briefly, I'll say. So I can't wear the X49 by my belly button because that's where not all my hair, evidently it is. It's not on my head. So maybe it's all there. But anyway, I can't wear a patch right there below my belly button. So I took it and put it on the inside of my groin, right over here next to where there didn't have any hair. So I put it there, and needless to say, my testosterone has been bad for the longest time. It was always low. I had to do pellets. But long story short, I started wearing the X49 there, and I said, Teresa, Charlie is back. I'm telling you.
When you're our age, things happen, right? But he did.
95 and 96, having Charlie come around once in a while, it's a good thing.
So it really brought his libido back. I didn't know we were going to have a sex talk tonight, but I can just tell you this.
Handle it. They can handle it.
Y'all, it works. It totally brought his libido back. And actually, he doesn't even need pellets now. He had his testosterone lab checked, and the doctor was like, what the heck? His testosterone is amazing.
It was like 12 or 1300. It was way over the top. He said, whatever you're doing is working. So I'm telling you, it is working. And I see all the guys smiling. I actually see the women smiling bigger. So that's a good sign.
We're not talking V, we're talking P. Not the Viagra, we're talking patch, baby.
Yes, patch.
Patch it up, patch it up. Anyway, I love that story. And you know what? Here's the truth. Something that I think that I do fairly well. I get people smiling and laughing. I mean, I love joy. I love joy. I think people are too serious in their lives and they have a lot of stress. And so I love dancing. I love kind of talking about uncomfortable things because you know what? Everybody kind of smirks. They're all hearing you loud and clear, John. They're all hearing you loud and clear. There might not be as many comments in the comment box over there, but they're here and they're listening. They get it.
And Renita, I will just tell all the women watching.
Listen what she's about to say. Yes, say what you just told me.
Okay,
yeah.
So there's some older women on here too, I'm sure. I'm not the only one in their 60s or 50s. So women, wear the X49 patch. I wear it every day below my belly button. And I wear the X39 somewhere on my body, of course, every day. And I will tell you, men, close your ears. Women, it's just like, I don't take any hormone replacements now. My hormones are doing great. And whatever you're needing, whether it's KY or whatever, you won't need that anymore. And that's true.
We're just going there. You guys are awesome. Okay, so this is the wisdom of John and Teresa Getz. They're telling you how to tell your story, make money, and make love. All of it, man. Okay, this is the talk of the night. Oh, you guys are cute. We love this couple. You guys, you've been a blessing. Hopefully, you guys are getting the point about the short telling of the story. Because hey, listen. We've all been privy to someone's story where it got out of hand, right? How many of you have heard a story and it's got just too long? And honestly, it was too dark. And when I say dark, you know what I'm talking about. They're talking about all the negative stuff. I want to get to the light. Tell me when the goodness happened. Like it's kind of like BC, before Christ, after Christ, right? I can tell you what my life was like before I committed my life to Jesus. Then I can tell you what happened at 25 from there on. And it's been a joyride, right? It hasn't been perfect. There's been a lot of, peaks and valleys, but I know that I'm good. Right. And I like to spend more time on that second half of my story because that includes his story. I always say his story, right? That's the good part up there. So make sure that you guys are making it less about you and more about them. So like Teresa says, that 2 to 3 minutes is a really good time frame. And then get into them about like, hey, tell me where you're at. Tell me what are you looking for in your life? I mean, how's your health? How's your finances? Are you looking for some freedom? Where are you at? And then listen, shut your mouth and then listen, right? Because I'm telling you what, yeah, I always say the Lord gave us one mouth and 2 ears for a reason, because we're supposed to be listening. So don't make it so much when people say, tell me the script. I'm like, it's less about the script, because what happens is the script, you just feel like you need to get the words out. I say, you know what? And I had this revelation. I'm going to give it to you guys right now. Here, let me pin myself too, so I'm next to these wild cards. I said to Scott, people that do network marketing are phenomenal in business. They're the best business people in the world. Do you know why? Because sometimes in business, traditional business, they celebrate, you opened a business. Oh, great job. You opened a clothing store. You opened a bakery. You could be stone broke, right? Sleeping in the back of the bakery. And people are celebrating that. In network marketing, sometimes, not always, it's changing, but sometimes there's a bit of a stigma. You know what I mean? And so we have to be the examples of light to overcome that. And I said, so we have to be such good business people, because not only are we building a business with people from the top different languages and different time zones, right? And trying to understand the changes that are going on with the comp plan and the company, and trying to understand people. We're the biggest people business on the planet, right? People from all walks of life join LifeWave. Billionaires are on our team. We were down at this Deer Valley Resort with John and Teresa Getz and some other members of our team for this SPD event, which, by the way, they're going to make a standing event at a certain rank. You can win the trip. You can win another trip. They're giving away another trip. Okay. There's more trips coming. LifeWave, David Schmidt is more. Just say one word with me, more. This guy is Upgrade City. And so literally he is telling us now that they're going to actually give away a trip to this Deer Valley Resort, which is this beautiful resort. And then they take you to Park City, Utah. Scott and Bo's case, they rode that bobsled, down the hill, the Olympic bobsled. And then they take you to corporate headquarters in Draper, Utah to see the beautiful facilities. But this is going to be a standing trip that they allow for a rank, not just the SPDs. They flew all of us, and everything was paid for. Okay. They flew us SPDs in, but now they're making another trip. So you guys can win this trip. I just think it's incredible how they just keep adding honey to the pot, right? We just keep getting more and more and more great things. And so this will be announced coming up here in June. Of course, Super Saturday's coming up next, not this upcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after, down in Dallas, Texas, Comp Plan 2.0, 9 ways of earning, 12 different ranks, more ways of making money. Okay. So you either got to be there in person, or if you didn't get the invite to be there in person, then you can attend it virtually. But you've got to be there, because you got to understand what's happening with the compensation plan, because it is so incredible and winning. You're going to win. You're going to earn more. Like Scott said, you can take 20,000 and 20,000 volume. Right now, that person would earn $1,500 with the cycles. With the new comp plan, they'll earn 2,000, from 1,500 to 2,000. So it's definitely an upgrade in pay. So you guys got to make sure that you're taking part of that. Make sure your teams are taking part of that. But what I'm saying about this thing down in Deer Valley, so we're sitting at this resort. Get to the point, Renita. We're sitting at this resort, and then all of a sudden, John and Teresa Getz have this person who comes in who says, you know what? The person I just sponsored owns this resort. I mean, this is a high-end place. It was just opened like November 30th of last year. It's like brand new. It's beautiful. It's like in the mountains. That lady joined the team. These people are billionaires. They own hundreds of resorts. And this gal just joined the team, went out to the corporate headquarters, took a tour, joined LifeWave, and now we got billionaires working the business. So you don't have to be a certain make or model or look or shape or size or education level. We got people that haven't graduated high school. We've got people that are college graduates. We've got people that are billionaires. We got them from everywhere. They're all coming in, you guys, because this is the opportunity of a lifetime for health and wealth. So what I'm saying is, here we are sitting at this thing, and all of a sudden we're realizing the resort that we're sitting at, somebody on our team owns it. Ha! There you go. Right? I mean, isn't this incredible? It's like wild when you think about it, how many people from all walks of life want to be part of the goodness of LifeWave. I mean, like Scott said earlier in a meeting, it's a beacon on a hill. All the people from all network marketing companies globally, as everything else is crumbling, they're all running to LifeWave. Why? Because the comp plan's improving, the products are superior, people are having miraculous results with them, and David Schmidt is not going away. He's got a 5, 7, 20-year plan in place to help people win financially with their families. He's actually talking generational health and generational wealth now on his Zooms. I can't wait for the SPD Zoom tomorrow. John and Teresa, you're probably going to be on that. But he's always talking about generational health and generational wealth now. Okay, so I could talk all day about that because I'm excited about all these new incentive trips, new ranks, new money, upgrade, upgrade. Just say with me, upgrade, upgrade. And I'm speaking it out over our team. I never think negative. I always believe the best, right? And that's something as a leader, as a millionaire and a billionaire mindset, even if you have the thought of negative, be careful not to let it leave your mouth. Do you know why? Because our mouth is putting out a frequency. You guys know that when you say something, you're changing the atmosphere of something. Okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, you are. And so these people, I got to tell you, some people on social media, they need a leadership lesson 101. Watch your mouth. Watch what you type in Facebook groups. Okay? You got new ears, new eyes, new people, brand new babies that are just coming in. That this is their lifeline. This is their hope. This is what they're going to use to get their family well. And then you're in there griping and moaning about something. I delete and block all day long these days. I'm deleting and blocking. I'm exercising the block button at my discretion. So if you don't want to get blocked, don't say dumb things. Okay? You got to remember that. And that's not a threat. That's a promise. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just telling you how it's going to go. That Facebook group is a lifter upper. Okay? I'm not saying we don't have pertinent questions. I'm not saying that we don't want to discuss things that need to be discussed, but you better frame that better. You better frame that, like I talked the other night, a sandwich method, a positive, what you need, what the problem is, and then the solution. But if you just coming in there vomiting all over the group, block and delete. Watch me. Watch me. You know what I always say? Go ahead and try me. That'll be good. Watch me. Right? Because you want to be part of what we have going on, guys. You want to be part of this movement. And again, business is never perfect. Are people perfect? Is anybody perfect here? No one's perfect. Okay. Business is never, ever going to be perfect, but you can't come in there like a vomit train. It's not allowed in our Facebook group. So I need you guys to be the winners that you are because God created you to win and you just speak life over people. And those Facebook groups, you should be bringing light to the conversations. You should be, don't get on the complaint train. The complaint train is going over the edge. When people complain and then they get on the complaint train, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be a pile up on the tracks. I'm like, this is not good. So you guys got to get off that complaint train as quickly as possible and pivot and bring light to the situation. So if you see something like that happening, remember, what are you called to do? Are you called to be a hope broker? Are you called to be a light worker? Are you called to be the light of Christ? Bo said something to me. My son, Bo said something to me. He goes, Mom, you're not Jesus. I said, I know I'm not Jesus, but the Holy Spirit lives in me. And he goes, I can't be as perfect as you when you're responding because he had some problem he was having. And I said, hey, Bo, don't respond like that. That's not taking the high road. We want you to respond better than that. You're a young man and you've got great leadership skills. And I just want you to respond a little differently. And he said, Mom, I'm not Jesus. You're not Jesus. I said, yeah, we're not Jesus, but we believe in Jesus. So because we believe in Jesus, the one who is perfect, we got to take the high road. We got to choose to do that with our mouths and with our Facebook posts and with our typing in the Facebook group, especially where and it always amazes me when someone just comes in there and says something negative and I click on their face and they say, Christian, 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 Christian. And I want to say, you better start acting like it. Right. So, and that's just me being me, right? You're going to get a good dose of Renita when you hear me. That's the truth, because I'm like, listen, you can say Christian all day long, but like, we got to walk this thing out and we got to ask ourselves if we're being the light of the world. Okay. And so start being it is my advice to you. But I want to share something really amazing with you because I've been on this idea all week that interested people watch obsessed people change the world. That's been like a thought that's been just resonating in my spirit, right? Like, how come some people have success? How come others don't? And like John and Teresa pointed out, where are you going? I think, Teresa, my favorite part of what you said, other than make it under 3 minutes, is where are you going? we've got to have a concrete direction of where we are headed with our health, with our team, with our business. And the question is if you are on, have any of you guys ever got on a ski lift where the thing is a rope and you have to take your thing and you have to hook it on the rope? Have any of you been to a ski? I think it's called the bunny hill. I think it's the bunny hill. But on the bunny hill, they have this rope that just goes like this. And if you have a hook, and so you're hooking on to that rope and it pulls you up it's meant to be easy for the kids. Okay. I'm not a black diamond skier, obviously, right? But when you hook onto that, you can go. So my question is your vision like the top of the hill where someone can hook onto it and go, or you have no vision? Then you have to ask, what are they hooking onto, right? And I think that for me is something I see frequently with our team that they can improve on and just really start getting a clear vision. And how do you do that? You decide. It's just making a decision. It's like Linda Miller says, make a decision and win the trip, right? Just make the decision to win the trip. You have to first make the decision, right? But if you never, like John and Teresa, we said, our goal was 100 people to win the free trip. We had 92. Okay, we're not complaining about 92, but next time we'll have 150, right? So you have to have the vision. Now, if you guys want to hook your rope to go up that ski hill to be part of us on the 150 at the next free incentive trip, earned, you have to earn it, but it is free. If you want to be on that rope with us, then you're going to have to make the decision. I want to go on the next trip. So even for some of you, if you don't know where you're going, you say, I have no idea where I'm going network marketing. You might want to say, I'm earning a free trip. I'm going to win the next free trip. I don't know about you, but is your boss giving away free trips? Because I'm going to win the next one. That would be a direct vision casting that you could do with your team. Do you want to go on the free trip? John and Teresa, do you want to go on the free trip with us? Right?
Yes.
See, she's hooking up. She's hooking on, pulling it down, hooking onto the vision, right? So again, if you're not having these concrete, and here's the thing, I'm not sad that we had 92 and not 100. I'm happy that we set the goal at 100 and got 92. You get what I'm saying? So if you say I'm going to hit this rank by this date and you don't hit it, do you think you're going to be sad if you kind of move the needle north? You're not going to be sad because you moved in the direction that you wanted to go. And as a leader, you always know you're always setting and resetting goals, right? You never say, well, I didn't hit it. I'm a loser. I say, I didn't hit it, but next time we're getting 150. Let's go, right? Who's going with us next time? So for me, it's always taking that high road and thinking, where are we going next? Who are we bringing with us? Who wants to come along? That's how you should be thinking.
If you shoot for the moon and you land in the stars, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing. It's a great thing. So what I found to show you guys, I actually have two things I want to show you right now. They're both very short. And, I like the guy, Russell Brunson, right? You guys know I like this guy, right? And he's kind of a marketer. And he talked about this event that he had where he held up his cell phone. And he says, now you can go buy these cell phones for like, I don't know, $800, right? And he said, okay, I'm going to sell you guys my cell phone right now. Who wants to buy my cell phone for $800? And only 2 people raised their hand in the audience. There's like a group of 1,000 people. And then he said, I've downloaded over 1,000 audibles on here that have, he said, I think I spent a minimum of $100,000 in courses that are on this phone. And I've got contacts from around the world. Who wants to buy my phone for $5,000? And the bidding got all the way up to $500,000 on his phone. And he said to the guy, there was 2 guys or 3 guys standing in the room. And he said, why would you buy my phone for $500,000? And one of the gentlemen said, because I know if I pay $500,000, I'm getting a deal because I know what's on that phone and the contacts on that phone and the information on that phone will change my life. It's worth way more than $500,000. And so I love that story because what are you, when you're holding up this patch, what kind of value are you bringing to it? What kind of value, I'm asking you, what kind of value are you bringing to this patch? Are you talking like John and Teresa Getz and Scott and I? This will change your life. This will change your life. This will change your life. This little tiny patch is going to change your life. Nothing is going to be the same after you start this. Your health's going to be better. Your life's going to be better. Your sex life, according to John and Teresa, are going to be better. everything is going to be better, right? Your finances are going to improve. You're speaking life over people. And I'm speaking with such a level of certainty because listen, I don't think it. I know what I've seen it. I can't unsee what I've seen. Okay. I can't unsee the 72-year-old that, you know, is making $1 million a year. I can't unsee that. I can't unsee these things. The widow, right? I can't unsee that. So what happens is are you adding enough value? What I'm saying, the example I'm giving you with Russell Brunson, he's holding this phone. No one wants to really buy it for $800. Then he ups the game and he tells them what's on it. And he says, who wants to buy it for 5,000? And everybody in the room raises their hand. Get it? Are you guys understanding what I'm telling you? Are you setting the pace with the value of how this is going to change somebody's life? That's your lesson for the night. What are you doing to show people the value of this patch? Are you being lazy about it? I don't know that much. Just take a couple sentences we're saying and repeat them and share a video. I mean, it's not like you got to be a rocket scientist here, right? We got Eddie. He's 96, busted out of hospice. I think he sponsored 2 people. He's Eddie. He's 96. You got this, right? So some people are overanalyzing it. They think they need to get it just perfect. Listen, I'm not a medical doctor and I don't want to be one because all my medical doctor friends want the time freedom that I've got. Okay. So I don't want to be a medical doctor. So I'm not going to come at you telling you this is going to cure every ailment. This is going to fix every disease when you tell me your disease names. I don't want you to tell me your disease names. That's like an energy you're putting out in the atmosphere. Teresa Getz, what do you tell people when they tell you disease names? This is Teresa Getz. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down. I should see pen to paper right now.
I tell them, Renita, stem cells don't know disease names. They only know how to activate in the bloodstream and go repair the body.
Say it again for those a little louder in the back of the room.
Okay. So you guys, every day you will have people say, can it fix this? Can it fix that? We're not doctors. I work with a lot of doctors. I have a lot of doctors on my team, but I'm not one. Stem cells don't know disease names. They just know how to activate and go in the bloodstream to repair whatever's wrong with you or to repair the damage or however you want to say it. I usually say they just know to activate in the bloodstream and go to repair what needs to be repaired.
Are you guys getting that? So get away from everyone talking patch protocols. Okay. Other than triple stacking X39, which we learned at the event from 2 doctors that have been there 16 years. They taught us to triple stack X39 for really bad situations and it works. It like literally is miraculously work. I had 2 people inbox me today say that they did that. You didn't hear that. What happened is Terry Beatley and Kenny Beatley, they came down the slides at the Merit. We got it on video and he hit his tailbone on that dang floor and Kenny was really sore. And then I was standing there and a couple doctors that have been part of LifeWave for 16 years said, triple X39, stack it. I was thinking like circle the dragon, like David talks about. And they said, no, X39, X39, X39 over top of one another. I'm like, really? And so Kenny did that. The pain went away instantly. The next morning he woke up. He's like, I can't believe it. Feeling better, right? Well, then that day we were jumping on the trampoline. Danny McDaniel thought he wanted to jump like Bo and I. And so he started doing these jumps. First time he did it, he should have got off the tramp, but then he thought he wanted to coach. And then he was trying to teach somebody else to jump and he landed on the ground instead of the tramp. And you could just see him kind of buckle when he did it. And I was like, oh, was that the knee or the ankle? Well, that night he was hobbling around the Merits. And I said to Diane McDaniels, what's going on with Danny? And she goes, he thinks he fractured his ankle. I'm like, what? No. And I said, you know what? I heard this incredible trick, triple stacking X39s, like a Big Mac with patches. I said, just triple stack it, baby. On that point, that hurts. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted the next day, Danny McDaniel went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, pain-free. He was ready to get back home and go to the doctor because he thought he fractured his ankle. It was gone. The pain was gone. So there's the health training for the night. Triple stack X39 for an area that really needs it. I think Connie Erlin and John are doing that with their sweet dog. They're triple stacking it. So not a bad idea, you guys. X39 triple stack. And then somebody else, 2 people called me today and said, I triple stacked it. My pain was completely gone. I am absolutely amazed. So I'm like there. Oh, it's Debbie Martin. I was on a Zoom with Debbie Martin today. And is Debbie on? Debbie, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Talk again because I want to pull you up because I want to show everybody how you look like you're 20. Have you guys seen the hot Debbie Martin? Holy.
Yeah, I'm here.
I keep talking. I'm going to show you Debbie. This gal looks like she's 30. I'm not kidding. Debbie is getting hotter. She was hot when I met her. Like she's getting definitely younger looking. Okay, there she is. Debbie, first of all, tell them what happened when you triple stacked the patch and then tell them how old you are. This is awesome.
Well, so I was telling Renita for like about the past 2 to 3 weeks or so, I think that my little Epstein-Barr virus got kicked up. I know that I have it because I had some lab tests done quite a while back, a few years ago. And because I was just feeling like really fatigued and kind of a little achy and just couldn't seem to, get going no matter how many electrolytes I was taking. And I heard Renita tell this story last Thursday. So the next morning I stacked 2. I don't know why I didn't do 3. I just did 2 that day. And then I thought, feeling better. And so then the next day I stacked 3, which was yesterday. And I'm like totally, completely well, back to myself. And I
Wow.
stacked 3 again this morning just for the heck of it. And yeah, I mean, it really, really worked. It was like it just completely pulled me out of like some fog thing that I, had been in, and feeling just fantastic. And
Wow.
and I'm going to be 71 next month.
Can you guys believe it? Debbie Martin is so cute. Look at her. But triple stacking is the way to go. I had never ever heard of that. So, Eugene, you just stack one on top of the other on top of the other, not in a row like a snowman, but literally on top of each other. Okay, are you guys getting that? 1, 2, 3 on top of each other. And I'm like, now you're like the 6th testimony that I have with the triple stack. All right. So when in doubt, triple stack X39. Some of you are going to have to advance in rank to support your patch habit. Okay. So you're going to have to up, and the good news is with the new Comp Plan 2.0, there's going to be some rank advancement bonuses, $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, things like that. And so it'll be fine. If you triple patch it, you'll have plenty of money to pay for your triple patching. Debbie, you're a blessing. Thank you for sharing that story. I was just fresh in my mind because she was one of the 2 I talked to today that said I triple stacked it and it worked. And I'm like, yeah. So that is a patch protocol. I don't really call it that because I'm like, just put an X39 on or just put 3 of them on top of each other. Okay, you guys got it? Everybody give it up for how hot Debbie looks. I'm on the hunt for Debbie, a good, solid, Christian, rock solid guy moving in the same direction as her. Okay, Debbie, I'm like a matchmaker. All right. He's got to wear the patch. All right, that's just how it's going to be. All right, Debbie, we love you and appreciate you. Okay, I'm going to show you the final video. You guys ready? This is so good. Okay, let me pull it up here. This is so good. Some of you came on tonight to hear how to share your story. Thanks, Teresa Getz. Everybody give it up for John and Teresa. A little footnote. Tomorrow night, we are doing our 8 o'clock meeting. Invite as many people as you can. This Is It team is now sharing Thursday night, 8 p.m., same time as our meeting. We're still having our live meeting with Renita, Testimony Thursday, same thing. But at that same exact time, they're actually launching a YouTube video of Scott and I at the last event. So if you say, hey, what is that? Well, it's the last event that we had. It's a live or a recorded video of that. So please know that you can watch that after our live event. So you should be in recruitment mode to invite 3 to 5 new guests to the 8 p.m. meeting tomorrow night. Okay, guys, that's the goal. And then afterwards, if you guys want to watch the recorded Zoom, that's going to be over at YouTube on This Is It Team. This Is It Team on YouTube. You can catch that live event where Scott and I gave the talk down in Las Vegas. Okay, so they just happen to be broadcasting that at the exact same time as our meeting. But I really want you guys to be on the meeting. I mean, my meeting, the live meeting, okay, that we're doing. All right, here we go. Here is the finale for the night. And I love, how many of you know Tony Robbins, love Tony Robbins? He talked about this. And again, I've been thinking all week about how interested people watch, obsessed people change the world. And I just encourage you to become obsessed. That's all I can say. If you want to make a lot of money and help a lot of people, you need to change the perspective and say that story that John and Teresa are telling you, where were you, what you saw, where are you now, where are you going? Tell that quickly. Tell them where you're going. Cast a vision for where they can go with you. That's what I'm saying. Here we go.
Everybody's got a list of shoulds. I should work out. I should spend more time with my kids. I should make more calls in my business. I should. You do your shoulds when it's easy. When it's not, you don't. You just should all over yourself about not doing it, right? So what we want to do instead is get it to be a must. So when you see someone who's extraordinary at anything, they're not lucky. They're doing something different than you. If you see what they're doing and you do the same thing, if you plant the same seeds, you reap the same rewards. Whether you do it or not will have to do with some of your beliefs. If you have a belief that says, I should never earn more than my parents, it'll humiliate them, then every time you get close to doing really well, you'll sabotage it subconsciously. These stories get in our way. If you're gonna run a business or run your life, I said it the other day, you can't manage something if you don't measure it. And the more you measure it, the better it gets, because where focus goes, energy. So the one thing we've got to start to measure is where we are around our standards. And I want to give you 4 ways to look at it, 4 standards to measure. Really simple. Think of it this way. These are the standards. There's the first standard for somebody, which is poor. Poor standards are way down here. Somebody has poor standards, they're willing to do a lousy job. Now, when you have poor standards and you do a poor job, what kind of rewards would you expect? Poor rewards. If you're in a relationship right now and you have lots of love but not enough passion, which is the most common relationship category.
This next package can record all your conversations with a single click of a button, which is why it goes.
It's not because you don't have enough passion because you have 3 kids and 2 soccer practices. The problem is it's a must for you to be in love, but it's not a must to have passion. If you're in a relationship where there's no love or passion, where you're not happy and you're staying there, you don't have love or passion, you're staying there, then what you really want is to be in a relationship no matter what. Because being out of a relationship is too scary to you. If you're not in a relationship, you don't want to be in one because you've linked pain to a relationship, you want to avoid it. See, it's just a standard. Your finances are no different. If you have enough money to pay your bills, it's probably a must for you to do that. Some people, that's not a must. It's a must to pay their bills most of the time, and that's what they do. Some people's must is to have more than they could spend so they can do, share, give as much as they want to as many people as they want, as long as they want. That's a different experience, right? So your standard shapes everything. Michael's standard everything. So here are the different standards. Poor is way down here. If you've got poor standards, you'll do a poor job in your relationship and it'll be okay with you. You'll do a poor job with your kids. You'll do a poor job at your work. And it used to be if you did a poor job, you got what rewards? Poor. But today, the world is so competitive in the last 15, 20 years because of the web, it's a different world. So today, when you do a poor job, it used to be poor job in a relationship, people stayed together for 25 years, even if they weren't happy. Today, people expect more. They leave. You do a poor job in your work, you get let go. You do a poor job with your kids, used to be maybe they smoke cigarettes. Today, they've got more information through the web and the least amount of supervision any time in history. If this is poor down here, it's a giant jump to the next standard, which is good. Most people in Western cultures have been taught to be good. Be a good friend, be a good bloke, be a good mother, be a good father, be good. And see, the thing is, good seems so wonderful because if you did a good job, you got what kind of rewards? Good. That's how it always was. Not anymore. Today, the world's so competitive. You do a really good job, you get poor rewards. If you do a good job at work, you're probably going to get canned, especially as the economy gets tightened. And good people don't understand this. I'm good. How can they fire me? Because you're good. Because that's not enough anymore. And they don't like that. If you do a good job in your relationship, your partner will take in energy somewhere else as a minimum. Or they may cheat on you or they may leave you. Because people expect a lot more than good now. I remember I get stopped on the street every day and people tell me the most beautiful stories or they ask me questions. And the most common question I'll get multiple times in a month, at least once or twice, I know when they're going to say it almost because I can tell by the state someone's in. They'll say, hey, you're Tony Rowan, hey. And they'll eventually say, can I ask you a question? I'll say, yeah. And they'll say something like this. I'm really a good man. I'm really a good woman. How come my wife left me? It's like, and I know the answer. I can't say it. It would sound terrible. It's because they're good. Because they'll say, I'm a good person, I'm a good this, I'm a good that. It's not enough anymore. Now, you may not like that, but you have to understand how life works. You may not like gravity, but you have to understand it, or you pay the price. See, the rewards for good is poor. Now, good people can't understand this, so what they try to do is do a better job of being good. And all they get is poor rewards, and then after a while they get pissed off and say, well, why do I even bother being good? I'll do a poor job, and then they get pain. So it's not the answer. So it's a giant jump from way down here, from poor, giant jump to good. Now, you wouldn't be with me here 3 days later with the kind of intensity you have today, with little sleep, if good was your standard. If you're an overachiever, you've jumped to that higher level called excellent. And when you're excellent, you won't settle for good. You work your ass off. When everybody else goes home, you go for more. You go to the class, you make it happen, you push through, you do what's necessary. When you're really excellent, you're one of the very best. And when you're really, really excellent, you would expect what kind of rewards? Excellent rewards, and that's how it used to be. But today, when you're really excellent, you get good rewards. And this pisses off excellent people. I know I should be grateful I have a great family and a great this and a great income, but I want more. So then people go, but I can't do anymore. I can't push anymore. Well, if this is poor way down here, and it's a giant jump to good, it's a giant jump to excellent, and people at excellent go, but I'm doing everything I can do. There's no more of me. I have nothing left. Don't lie to your creator. Don't slap the face of your creator by saying that's all you got. There's another level in you, but I know it seems insane to make another giant jump, but you don't have to. The level you're looking for with all the rewards is just 2 millimeters above all the others, ladies and gentlemen. And it's called outstanding, ladies and gentlemen. You are not one of the best. You are the best. You have gone through where nothing worked. You push and push and push, and you're not getting what you want, and you keep pushing. And it's almost like the universe of God's testing you. How hard will you go? How long will you go? And once the universe of God knows you will never give up, the door opens, you step up, and you have it all. The joy, the love, the economics, the freedom, what Jerry Maguire called the Quan. You get it all because you stand out from all the rest by just a little bit. It's just not a giant jump. It's just when everybody else says that's all I got, you're not one of those. You find another level. And the people who find another level have all the rewards. They get the joy, the happiness, the love, the economics. And by the way, it's totally unfair. And I love it. Do you know why I love it? Because in every culture in the world, we reward people disproportionately for being outstanding. Think about it. Even horse races. There's a horse race. 12 of the fastest horses in the world race. And one wins by a nose hair, by a little nose hair. A millisecond. What do we give that first horse? Everything. What do we give the second horse? A little bit. Third horse? What do we give the fourth horse? What? Nothing. Not a squat. Zip. And they're the fourth fastest horse in the world. Not very fair. But when someone does something no one else has done before, it changes everyone. It's like Roger Bannister when he ran the 4-minute mile. No one in history had done it. Within 3 months, 3 people did. Within 3 years, 22 people have. Now, high school students run a 4-minute mile. Every 4 years, we have an Olympics. Do you get the Olympics by being good? Can you get there by being excellent? What do you have to be to get the Olympics? Totally, completely what?
Obsessed.
But by how much? Just the littlest much, just the littlest bit. A few seconds. By the way, amongst the most outstanding, some are more outstanding amongst them. 12 of the fastest runners in the world run. Everybody on earth watches it. 1.5 billion people watch the Olympics. And they run as hard as they can run. And one person wins by 100th of a second. What do we give them? The gold medal. What else do we give them when they're number one? Endorsements. But what we really give them is a status called hero for life. That's pretty wild. And they're 1/100th of a second faster than someone whose name you'll never know. What do you give the second person? Silver. What do you give the third? Bronze. What do you give the fourth? What do we give them?
Don't mix salt with these 3 ingredients if you don't want the Mounjaro effect on your body and your pants loose in a week. Why are companies
Nothing, not a squat, zip, zilch, and they're the 4th fastest human on Earth. No one's even gonna remember they're there. No one else will remember. That's so unfair. But it's amazing because every 4 years, as a result of that, human beings jump higher, they run further, they break. Is there new records every 4 years? How's that possible? Because that standard gets set higher and higher, and then somebody else believes it, someone else experienced it. Now, so you go, well, I'm screwed then because I'm not fast. Well, here's the good news. Life is not a sport. It's not a win-lose. Could every person in this room be an outstanding friend, yes or no? Could you have an outstanding family? Could you have an outstanding economic world, yes or no? Could you be an outstanding lover? How do you know? Because you know inherently outstanding is not just skill. When there's something inside you that will not give up, when there's something inside you that values something more than yourself, and you want to serve it, superhuman energy comes into your nervous system. So decide now not to settle. No matter what the hour, no matter how tired, we jump higher, we use our voice more. When we're exhausted and think there's nothing left, we go, bullshit, there's more in me. You push through and you find your second wind. You do that enough times, it's like lifting that weight that's so hard. And you think, oh, I can't do one more. But what's more important is your example for yourself. So from this moment on, make that choice. Nothing I'm gonna do tonight's gonna be good or excellent. I'm gonna give that extra ounce. When there's nothing left, there's still more. And the muscles will expand, not just the physical muscles, the more important muscles, the emotional and spiritual muscles. Courage unused does not expand, it shrinks. Passion unexpressed does not expand, it shrinks. Love unshared does not grow, it shrinks. You don't use it, you use more of it, you get more of it. Because it's already in you. All we're doing is waking it and unleashing your true self.
Oh. Do you guys love that? Oh, hang on a second. You know what? I feel like that just speaks to my spirit. That speaks to who I am. I hope it speaks to who you are. And you don't have to be perfect, but I always say, I loved it when Meredith said, we were down at the event and the boys were along, and Meredith said, you know what, Scott and Renita, you're excellent parents. And I really love that because I didn't have excellent parenting. And I don't believe Scott did either, right? They did the best they could, what they had. We love them. And we're thankful for our parents. But when they said that, and Meredith said, you know what? I said, well, we're far from perfect. She goes, the good news is you're not perfect. She said, but you are excellent. And I just thought about that in our business even. You don't have to be perfect. Just be excellent. Just be extraordinary. Do the extra meeting. Do one more. Do one more. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Come on. You know, when I found out a couple people lost the last trip by 2 points, I vomited in my mouth. I'm like, how could you lose a free trip by 2 points? Sponsor the cat, right? Like, sponsor anybody. And so for me, I'm like, you got to push, you guys. You got to push. And so again, this is all coming from that spirit of be obsessed. Be obsessed with getting people well. Be obsessed with loving people. Be obsessed with helping people win financially. Like Teresa said, $500 will save most marriages. Most marriages are not fighting about infidelity. They're fighting about money, right? So if you help them to make an extra $6,000 a year, it's going to take the pressure off, right? So get excited about what we have our hands on. Get a little obsessed with it. If people say you're obsessed, yeah, this is what it looks like, baby. Come on. Right? You ought to be, right? And so I feel like just moving in that direction of just a little bit more, you know? I always think about that when I walk sometimes. I put a goal where I'm going to run to. I'm going to run from this post to this post. And then I get to the post and I think 20 more steps, Renita. 20 more, right? Slightly more. No one's watching. I'm watching. I know, right? And so that's what if you start living your life like that, everything changes, right? Anyway, hopefully you guys are encouraged by tonight. John and Teresa Getz, let's give it up for John and Teresa Getz. We're 6 minutes over, but we got on late. But here's the deal. We love and appreciate all of you tonight. Thanks for getting on. We hope that you all register and pray that you all register for Super Saturday. That is next Saturday, not this upcoming, but the following Saturday down in Dallas, Texas. If you got the invite to attend in person, please do. And if not, we'll see you virtually there. Tomorrow night, your goal is 3 to 5 new guests. We're doing that live meeting that's pinned to featured in our Facebook group. So if you go to LifeWave Wellness Warriors and click on featured, there's the meetings. And listen, if you don't tell your team that, they don't know that. So you got to go to featured, scroll down. Tomorrow night, our meeting's at 8 p.m. and it's going to be Testimony Thursday, and we've got some good ones. So don't miss it. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and shine his face upon you. Be gracious to you all the days of your life. Thank you, John and Teresa Getz. Thank you, Debbie Martin. Thank you all of you for attending tonight. We love and honor all of you, and we're just blessed to be here. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks a lot. Be excellent. Be extraordinary. Come on, go get it. Get it.